Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling, and much appreciated you guys checking today's video out. I'd like to invite everybody that hadn't had a chance to please subscribe to the channel. So today we have got some bad news for people that like to eat bass, and it's not just that, it's pretty disturbing overall to what this particular study that I'm going to tell you guys a little bit has found out. But anyway, this was sent to me by one of the subscribers. I was not even aware of this. And apparently this is a result of a study at Duke University recently released the findings of the study based upon some sampling of bass they've taken out of the Kissimmee River in Florida, along with some other lakes out there. And I'm just going to read through it a little bit, what it says here, and we'll discuss it a little bit after I read through it. Anyway, this study that was done by Duke University found that high levels of PFAS, which are perfluoroalkyl acid, or what it's called. These are chemicals that are found in the stuff that makes coatings for nonstick coatings, product that resists water, heat, oil, and grease stains. As a byproduct of that, these were high levels of these chemicals that were found in some of the blood sample of the bass that they had. And it said that the research they did on this particular study found that the levels of the PFAS in humans that ate just one bass per month were literally hundreds to thousands of times higher than what they would be considered safe levels if they just reused it in the normal drinking water. And the main problem with this, it's been linked to a variety of different cancers, or ulcerative colitis and thyroid disease. So anyway, guys, this is just another example of a lot of the stuff that sort of gets brushed under the carpet. This is one small element. I mean, there are warnings for, mercury contamination in fish in every single state across this country. And why do we allow it? Why do we allow companies to get by with polluting our water that not only affect our fisheries, but cause us to develop cancers and other health-related problems that cost our health system billions and billions of dollars a year, plus this pain and suffering about the people that go through this and their families that go through it. It's absolutely ridiculous. And here's the insanity part of it. With this particular thing here, there were efforts. Last year there were over a dozen different bills that Congress put up to vote that would regulate these PFASs in the water. But half of Congress voted to block those regulations to enforce this. Now, I'm not going to get into politics. You can look at who voted what, but basically half of the people in Congress voted against safeguarding the safety of our waters and by putting these chemicals in it, and found out later that most of these people that supported this, but most of these people that did not support, banning these chemicals, it was a result of some lobbying efforts of the chemical companies that, they were so powerful, big donors, that type of stuff, that just did not want these bans to go into effect. So as it stands right now, these chemicals are still getting, exposed to the bass in the water that we have around here. So all goes back again to politics and money, guys. It's like, you look at whether, it's this PFAS contamination in Florida, not just Florida. This is just where the study was. It's probably all over every lake in the country. It's probably got some level of it. If you look at mercury contamination, if you look at different types of stuff, it's all about, you've got half of Congress that wants to stop this and, put a stop to these toxic chemicals being, introduced in our waterways. And then you got half of Congress that defends the chemical companies and continues them to do this. So who's on the right side of the fence here? Ultimately, something like this, it will not change unless the legislation is changed. Until we can put safeguards that we basically say to these chemical companies, you are not going to dump this crap in the water, just like, all the herbicides they spray in Florida. It's the same type of deal. You got half of Congress that, want to pass legislation to stop spraying toxic herbicides on the grass in Florida. Then you've got half the people out there that are in the back pocket of the chemical companies that try to block this legislation. It's just a bunch of crap. It's about power. It's about control. It's about money. They could care less about the people that are affected here, you know, getting the cancers and different type of ailments, you know, as a result of this. So it's pretty dark, man. It really is. So the only thing that we can really do as a group of sportsmen, if you're concerned about this type of stuff, is try to put pressure on your local and state politicians to, you know, stop blocking these bills from passing. If not, you know, we're just going to continue, you know, polluting our waters and, you know, killing ourselves with the toxic chemicals that are in the water. So it seems like a no-brainer. I mean, it really does. It's like, I'm pretty fond myself of breathing clean air and drinking clean water. I don't want chemicals in my water. I don't want pollutants in my air. You know, it's simple. It's not that difficult, man. But obviously we have a real problem with it because we have a real problem with greed and power and ignorance in this country when it comes to stuff like that. So anyway, guys, just wanted to run that by. You can look it up. Just Google PFAS chemicals. It'll give you all the information about it. Very interesting study from Duke University. Just wanted to pass that along to you guys. So much appreciated you tuning in. We'll talk later.